Hello and welcome back to my office, and a slightly confusing time because, well, this is the 5th Sunday in the month, which means it's a bonus edition video for folks. And I'm finding life really confusing because, as some of you will know, a few years ago I was diagnosed with diabetes, and it's caused a huge amount of damage to my eyesight, and my eyes deteriorated rapidly, pretty solidly for the next 2 years. And they've only started slowing down this year because I've been having macular injections, which is not very nice. I won't go into details, but let's just say I call it eye stabbing. And it was once every 6 weeks, but now it's once only every 12 weeks, and they reckon that my eyes have stabilised quite well. So I've now been told I can have spectacles again because my eyesight should last well enough. But I did a stupid thing because they're remarkably similar. These are greyer, those are darker. So these are general day-to-day glasses. And I think they're filthy, which is why I can't see anything. And these are my working glasses, which are designed basically for closer up work, especially on the computer. Anyway, that's all very tedious. What exactly is going on? I have been having a very interesting last few weeks. First of all, we've done all of our kitchen, all the building work in the house is completed. Now it's just the fiddling around getting painting and stuff done. That's all very well, but I've got to write a book before the end of February. And that's going to be slightly problematic because I haven't written the first page yet. But these are the sort of things that happen when you're a writer. So I'm going to have to write very hard and fast, especially with Christmas coming up, because that does get in the way of things slightly. Shut up. So that's going to be fairly difficult, but I will get there. Trying to help my wife at the same time with painting, trying also to do a certain amount of painting myself with the watercolours and things. And here you can see what was intended to be a Christmas card this year, but to be honest, my wife didn't like it. I thought it was really nice, a little snowy, Christmassy scene at night time, taken from one of my photos years ago. But no, she doesn't like it, so it can't go. So a different one has gone to the printers, which will be going out to various people. And apart from that, I've been receiving a strangely large number of applications from companies that seem to think I have some sort of influence over what people want to buy. Me? So a firm that does everyday carry torches, flashlights. A firm that does batteries. I'll put a link in the bottom about my review of this, because I must admit, I think this is absolutely ruddy marvellous. I really do. And not just marvellous, it's very effective, very convenient to carry, and it's really quick at charging my phone. So what more can I ask for? So there's that. Flashlights, as I say. I've been asked if I would review, for some reason, exercise bikes. I mean, it's a peculiar thing. I don't know how much of these things are all interrelated, but when you, for example, discover that 24 hours after having a chat with your wife about doing various works in the kitchen, so we decided we were going to replace the kitchen, we had a conversation one evening where we were talking about the countertops. Within 24 hours, I was inundated with emails about countertops. They were all over my YouTube feed. They were everywhere. Everything was all about countertops. Then a little while later, we discussed flooring tiles. Guess what? Within 24 hours, every single flaming YouTube video I got had an advert for flooring tiles. And I'm not going to bother continuing, but you get the message. It is astonishing how I can only assume telephones are so attached to the internet. I say telephones because I didn't discuss it in front of anything else. We didn't discuss it in front of one of those clever speakers or anything. We haven't got one. Alexa, is it? Alexa and something else. We don't have those things, so it can only have been while we were in our kitchen. We both had our phones. Mine's an iPhone, hers is not. Hers is a Google. So it's very likely, I assume, that we're being listened to all the time by one or both, which is disturbing when you think about it. Sorry, I'm just being... I've got a demanding Rhodesian Ridgeback here who is telling me that she really wants some attention. The Bernese, on the other hand, is just bone-idly gazing out of the window at the passing world. So what else is new? Well, I have discovered a new favourite author, I think, Steve Tibble. He's written this book. He's written another one which is called Assassins and Templars. I saw these books in Waterstones recently and picked one up, and it was basically, as soon as I picked it up, it was impossible to put it down. Non-fiction. These are all about actual events in the Holy Land and with the Knights Templar and Crusaders generally. And because the next book is going to be all about the First Crusade again, I'm being stared at really intently right now. She wants something and I don't know what. Because that's what the next book is going to be about. I thought it would be really good to get a sort of view about Crusader criminals and others. So I picked up these books, absolutely delighted with them, they're wonderful. I have been spending a lot of time recently reading. It's been lovely, it really has. It's been the first time all this year that I've been able to sit down and read books. So far I've read about 7 John Creasy books and all the Slow Horses books by Mick Herron, which, if you haven't tried them, I'm jealous. They are so good. This latest one, who's Spook Street, is just fantastic. He's got a way of creating fabulously believable, if obnoxious, characters, wonderful plots, and he is excellent at building up the tension all the way through to the end. He really is. So if you haven't tried any Mick Herron, do get them. I have to admit that I'm enormously jealous of the guy. He's obviously getting paid very good sums of money to write these books, and he's got a TV series as well with Apple TV. So yes, I'm thoroughly jealous, but the obnoxious thing about him is that he's a lovely bloke. We meet up quite regularly, so I don't mind recommending his books. Apart from that, I've got lots of work to do for the next month because I've got to be making some YouTube videos ready for Christmas. I've got a fair amount of work I'm doing currently, trying to sort out how to create podcasts and how best to get them in the podcasting market. Not easy, but I'll do my best. And apart from that, it's really just a case of sitting down and trying to type without a Bernese mountain dog climbing into my lap or a ridgeback head-butting me demanding attention. Go away. She is a lovely little dog, it has to be said. And I will show you because that's the sort of chap I am. But here is my working place. Still a dreadful mess because of all the junk that's in here from the last kitchen. And here is a beautiful ridgeback and a bone idle Bernese. Does make a change for me to be able to say that the Bernese is bone idle. She's normally bounding around the place like a little alpine goat, but today for some reason she's feeling quiet. It's lovely. Tomorrow morning we're going to go to the seaside. Today is Friday the 28th, so this will be coming out to you 2 days after I've recorded it. So the day before you see this is the day I'll be at the beach with the dogs, hopefully getting some sun. Right now it looks very hopeful, and with luck we'll be having a pleasant time there, and then when I come home I can do a bit more work on the research and studying ready for this book. I've already got the first scenes, I think. I'm going to base the first section in Antioch, and then the main rush of the book is going to be the rush from Antioch to the siege of Jerusalem and the horrors about Jerusalem and the siege. But it's going to have a crime involved in it as well. Like all of my books, I like to have a firm grounding with murder. So we're going to have a bit of murder in the middle of it as well, and we'll see how it goes. As it stands right now, I'm still very delighted with my new publisher, Boldwood, who are fabulously supportive and doing a huge amount in terms of marketing and actually selling books, which makes such a difference nowadays. And then next year, well, who can tell? I'm already committed to writing 2 books for Boldwood. I've got another collaborative book I'm going to be working on with a good friend, and there may even be more. I mean, the trouble is that I do feel that I'm resting on my laurels. I've written somewhere in the region of 60 books, 56 of them published, if you include the novellas with medieval murderers. And yet, when I look at past writers like John Creasy, he wrote over 650 novels in his life, and he died before he reached my age. So I'm clearly bone idle. Hey-ho, I do my best. Anyway, thanks to all patrons. Thanks a lot for your support. Thanks for your patronage, because it does make a vast difference just knowing there's people out there who are interested apart from anything else. And I look forward to being in touch again. Maybe next time I'll be able to tell you about a new podcast. You never know. In the meantime, if you haven't had a look already, do please hunt out copies of Pilgrim's War and Fields of Glory, Blood on the Sand, Blood of the Innocents, Ashes of Rebellion. All books published this year. I have been pretty busy. And if you like the humorous side of things, don't forget there's Death Comes in Threes and the Piazza Murders. And if you're wondering where I'm staring, I'm looking at all of my books up here on my shelves, because that's how I keep track of which books I've written and where I stand currently. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care of yourselves and have a wonderful Thanksgiving to those of you who are in that part of the world. For the rest of the world, have a great Sunday and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.